The Berlin Wall and Checkpoint Charlie. Berlin Wall was a 12-foot or 3.7 meters high and more than 87 miles or 140 kilometers long physical barrier dividing East and West Berlin. What started just as a wire fence to divide the city between the Soviet-run and Western-controlled zone evolved into the wall in 1961, while most of the wall has been demolished after the 1989 revolution, which led to the unification of both parts of Germany. You can still see parts of the wall all over Berlin. Visit Checkpoint Charlie, which was the only checkpoint that allowed foreigners and members of the Allied forces to cross. Number 8. Markthalle 9. Also known as Market Hall 9, the iconic covered market was constructed in 1891 and reopened in 2011. Whether you want to get an original German meal, buy fresh organic vegetables, or something from the flea market, or just soak in the atmosphere, visiting Markthalle 9 is a great experience. If you visit on Tuesdays, Fridays and Saturdays, you'll be right in time for the traditional weekly market offering fresh produce, meat and even craft beer. Or maybe you'll be there just in time to explore their other thematic festivals dedicated to anything from beer to coffee. Number 7. The Reichstag Building. Home to German Parliament. From the arson under the Nazi regime to the official reunification of Germany in 1990, the Reichstag has seen histories unfold. Full of interesting architectural elements, Reichstag is famous for its inscription on the facade Dem deutschen Volk, meaning to the German people, as well as a giant glass dome offering great panoramic views of the city, and you can see right through the parliament. The glass dome is also an example of eco-architecture because of its sustainable use of energy. You can see art collections and permanent exhibitions in the building or have a picnic on the grass in front of Reichstag. Number 6. Museum Island. Museum Island is a complex of 5 museums located on an actual island in Berlin. The 5 museums are the Pergamon Museum, Altes Museum, Neues Museum, Bode Museum and the Alte National Gallery. The island is listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO and was reopened in 2009 after being badly damaged in World War II. The very first museum was the Altes Museum, which opened in 1830 and all 5 were completed by 1930. The James Simon Gallery serves as the entrance building with its collection of art and exhibition areas. Each museum has a different collection, from Islamic art to sculptures from the medieval period and works from artists such as Monet, Renoir and others. Berlin offers many other fascinating museums. Check out our travel guide for more suggestions. When you're on the Museum Island, visit the majestic 1800 Berlin Cathedral located close to the Altes Museum, and don't miss out on a cruise in one of Berlin's canals on the River Spree. By the way, did you know that Berlin has over 112 miles or 180 kilometers of waterways, which is more than Venice or Amsterdam? Don't miss other attractions located near the Museum Island. Number 5. Berlin Television Tower. At the height of over 1200 feet or 368 meters, Berlin Television Tower is the highest building in Germany. Located in what was East Berlin, the tower was created in 1969 as the symbol of the superiority of the German Democratic Republic, the Soviet-run part of Germany. You can visit the revolving restaurant Sphere with literally 360 degrees views of Berlin. And below the TV tower, don't forget to explore Alexanderplatz, the biggest and most popular. Number 4. Jewish Museum. The largest Jewish museum in Europe is a place that highlights the German-Jewish relationship. The Jewish Museum boasts exhibitions on personal stories from the Holocaust and issues of persecution and migration in Germany. It strives to be a place to remember, from its striking facade to its zigzag designs. The building itself is rich with symbolism and tells different Jewish stories, even through architecture, like Garten des Exils. Holocaust Tower stands as a place of remembrance for the fallen Jews of Europe. memorial to the homosexuals prosecuted under the Nazi regime, located close to the Jewish memorial, or memorial to the Sinti and the Roma victims during the Nazi regime, located close to the Brandenburg Gate. The Topography of Terror, a site portraying the photos and evidence of the crimes and persecution committed. Number 3. Charlottenburg Palace. Charlottenburg is a summer palace commissioned by Sophie Charlotte, the first queen consort of Prussia. While it was initially named Lietzenburg Palace, when Sophie Charlotte died in 1705, although not entirely completed, the palace was named after her. The palace was well maintained, but a big part of it was damaged during the World War II. The palace is built in a Baroque style. Charlottenburg offers many spots that you can visit and experience what life was like for the royals of that time, in Botanic Garden and Botanical Museum. Constructed in 1910, Berlin Botanical Garden was built with the purpose to have the world in a garden. The site now includes over 20,000 plant species, covering over 100,000 acres or 40 hectares of land. Number 1. Alternative culture. Berlin is one of the world's main hubs of alternative culture, which includes street art, nightlife, as well as a vibrant underground scene. The city has continuously reinvented itself since the fall of the Berlin Wall, and this can be seen in the abundance of subcultures and the presence of street art in communities such as Friedrichshain or Kreuzberg district and other places. Numerous areas were gentrified. Here are some of the best places and neighborhoods connected to the alternative culture you should not miss when you're in Berlin.
At number 10 is The Little Mermaid. At Langlean Pier, on a rock by the waterside, you will find one of Copenhagen's most famous attractions, the sculpture of the Little Mermaid. The sculptor Edvard Eriksson created the mermaid in 1913 as a tribute to the author Hans Christian Andersen. Number 9 is Copenhagen Zoo. Copenhagen Zoo was founded in 1859 and is one of the oldest zoos in Europe. Home to over 4,000 amazing animals from 264 species. Visitors can enjoy incredible wildlife demonstrations with polar bears, chimpanzees, hippos, monkeys, and more. The zoo is also home to one of the best elephant facilities in the world. At number 8 is Rosenborg Castle. Rosenborg Castle was built by one of the most famous Scandinavian kings, Christian IV, in the early 17th century. It is located in the King's Garden in the heart of Copenhagen and features 400 years of royal art treasures, the crown jewels, and royal regalia. Visitors can enjoy a journey back in time, as the interiors of this lavish palace have hardly changed in centuries and feature historic tapestries charting the conflicts between Denmark and Sweden. Number 7 is Christiansborg Palace. Christiansborg Palace is located on the tiny island of Slotsholmen and contains the Danish Parliament, the Supreme Court, and the Ministry of State. The Prime Minister of Denmark also uses the royal reception rooms in connection with state visits by foreign leaders, and parts of this magnificent palace are used by the royal family for various functions. At number 6 is Copenhagen City Hall. Visitors can tour the City Hall with a knowledgeable guide and find out the history of one of Copenhagen's most revered buildings. Located on the City Hall Square in central Copenhagen, this majestic building was built between 1892 and 1905 and contains huge oak stairs, beautiful artwork on the walls, and the Jens Olsen's World Clock, a fascinating astronomical clock. Number 5 is Nyhavn. The old harbor of Copenhagen, Nyhavn, was originally a busy commercial port where ships from all over the world would dock. This historic waterfront area is next to a 17th century canal where old wooden ships are still moored today. On both sides of the canal are tall painted houses dating from the 1600s and 1700s. The house numbers 18, 20, and 67 were home to the author Hans Christian Andersen at different times. Many of these picturesque renovated townhouses now have restaurants, bars, and cafes with outdoor seating. At number 4 is the National Museum of Denmark. The National Museum of Denmark in Copenhagen is Denmark's largest museum of cultural history and has exhibitions from the Stone Age, the Viking Age, the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, and modern Danish history. The museum's main building is located a short distance from Stroget at the center of Copenhagen. Visitors can take a guided tour around the museum and get a local's perspective on Danish life and history. Children can also learn and have fun at the Children's Museum, where they can sail a Viking longboat, attend school in the 1930s, and defend a medieval castle from attack. Number 3 is the Botanical Gardens. The Botanical Gardens are located in the center of Copenhagen and cover an area of 10 hectares. It is particularly famous for its extensive complex of historical glasshouses dating from 1874. The garden contains more than 13,000 species and are arranged in different sections, including Danish plants, a rock garden with plants from mountainous areas, Confer Hill, which is planted with coniferous trees, and a beautiful rhododendron garden. The gardens also have a special air-conditioned greenhouse that can recreate environments suitable for Arctic plants. At number 2 is Christiania. Freetown Christiania is an intentional community covering 7.7 hectares in the borough of Christianshavn in the Danish capital city. It was founded in 1971, and at number 1 is Tivoli Gardens. Tivoli Gardens opened in 1843, and there's plenty of family fun to discover in this classic amusement park. Buckle up on one of the world's oldest wooden roller coasters, ride the Starflyer, a carousel that takes riders up 80 meters above the ground, and delight in the Vertigo, which will turn you upside down. Once you've had your fill of the rides, take it easy and explore the stunning gardens and picturesque lakefront. Inside Copenhagen's Tivoli Gardens, visitors can find an enchanting mix of rides with enjoyment for the whole family. At number 10 is the Viking Ship Museum. This is home to the world's best preserved Viking ships, which, unusually, were used as grave sites for important members of Viking society. Both the ships and the burial findings are on display, including a large, beautifully intricate wagon, amazingly well-maintained clothing items, and the skeletons themselves. The Vikings have played a huge part in Scandinavian culture, and the Viking Ship Museum is a perfect place for a visit. Number 9 is the hop-on hop-off bus, Oslo. Visitors can see the best that Oslo has to offer with a specially designed bus route covering major sightseeing destinations in the city. With 18 different stops at Oslo's special sites, visitors can tune into the audio guide for a factual tour as you travel and explore the city at your own pace. Highlights include the Royal Palace, Vigeland Museum, the Opera House, Viking Ship Museum, and many more. At number 8 is Vigeland Sculpture Park. The Vigeland Sculpture Park is one of Norway's most visited attractions. The park is home to more than 200 sculptures in bronze, granite, and cast iron, displaying human emotions and life stages in interesting ways. The artist behind them is Gustav Vigeland, who is also responsible for the design and architectural outline of the park. His large house and studio, built on the premises, is now a museum dedicated to the artist, and the park is free and open all year round. Number 5 is Alkeshu's Fortress. Alkeshu's Fortress, or Alkeshu's Castle, is a medieval castle that was built in the 1300s to protect and provide a royal residence in Oslo. The castle has also been used as a military base, and today is a museum open to the public. Access to the fortress grounds is free and gets visitors some of the best views of the Oslo Fjord. At number 6 is Viking biking. Visitors can explore the stunning city of Oslo and its surrounding area on 2 wheels with a robust bike fit for a Viking. Take in mesmerizing views of lakes, coniferous forests, historic castles, rugged coastlines, peaceful seaside towns, and more. Viking biking are happy to help you plan your route according to your fitness and experience level so that you can enjoy all that Oslo has to offer. Number 5 is Fjord Sightseeing Cruise. Visitors can hop aboard a classic wooden ship and sail out from the port of Oslo on a sightseeing adventure into the wild heart of the Oslo Fjord. Explore the rugged beauty of the Oslo Fjord and sail past idyllic bays lined by beautiful Norwegian architecture, past lighthouses, and navigate a maze-like archipelago of tiny islands. At number 4 is the Royal Palace. The Royal Palace in Oslo was built in the first half of the 19th century as the Norwegian residence of the French-born King Charles III of Norway, who reigned as King of Norway and Sweden. Now the official seat of King Harald V and Queen Sonja, this neoclassical palace has richly furnished staterooms, beautiful suites, and a luxurious Great Hall. Number 3 is the Oslo Opera House. A spellbinding landmark right on the harbor, the home of the Norwegian National Opera and Ballet, was completed in 2007. Resembling an iceberg, this angular building is clad with white granite and Italian marble and has a main auditorium that can seat 1,364 spectators. Even if you do not manage to see a show here, the building is worth a visit in itself. Take a walk on the roof for a phenomenal view of the Oslo Fjord. At number 2 is the hop-on hop-off boat, Oslo. Visitors can see Oslo from a whole new perspective with the hop-on hop-off boat. This 24-hour ticket stops at 5 different locations and puts you on a wooden traditional sailing ship in the inner part of the Oslo Fjord. Listen to onboard audio commentary for information on the sites and stop at 5 different locations, including the Opera House, City Hall, museums, and more. At number 1 is Tusenfryd Amusement Park. Tusenfryd Amusement Park, located around 20 kilometers south of Oslo, is Norway's largest amusement park. It features attractions for all ages, with over 30 fun roller coasters, carousels, a log ride, and much more. Number 10 is the Skansen Open Air Museum and Nordic Zoo. Skansen Open Air Museum is known for being one of the oldest open air museums in the world, and easily one of the best things to do in Stockholm if you love history. Skansen takes you on an amazing journey into the past to engage with Scandinavian folk traditions, craftsmanship, and culture. Visitors can explore the history of old Sweden across a huge area of farms and dwellings, and see fascinating workshops showcasing traditional crafts like butter churning, weaving, shoemaking, and glass blowing, which have been passed down over the generations. Number 9 is the hop-on hop-off bus, Stockholm. With 20 stops around the city of Stockholm, covering all major tourist attractions, the hop-on hop-off bus is a great way to explore the city. The fleet of comfortable buses will whisk you between stops, specially chosen to give a comprehensive introduction to Stockholm's rich history and dazzling culture. With audio guides in several languages and unbeatable panoramic views, visitors can get to know this famous city in detail. At number 8 is the Royal Bridge and Canal Tour. Stockholm is a city that virtually lies on the water, with the sea running through the city itself, and one of the best ways to explore is via a canal boat tour. Visitors can leave from the Royal Palace in the center of Stockholm and cruise through the Djurgården Canal, built by hand back in 1832, glide under some of Stockholm's 57 bridges, and see Stockholm's grand architecture from a whole new angle. Number 7 is ABBA, the museum. More than 3 decades after they split up, their music still pops up in movies, TV shows, and of course their record-breaking musical, Mamma Mia. The museum brims with ABBA memorabilia, and visitors can see costumes, gold records, instruments, and original items. Then you can be an important part of the action by experiencing the feeling of being the 5th member of ABBA and singing at the Polar Studio with the band. At number 6 is Vikingaliv. At Vikingaliv, visitors can experience the Viking Age through sound, light, and moving settings. Learn about Viking facts and see the interactive exhibition, and learn how the Vikings traded and raided. Lifelike characters guide you all the way through Stockholm's Vikingaliv, which mixes fun with the very latest research into the history of the Vikings. Number 5 is Tantolunden Park. Located in the southwest of the island of Södermalm, adjacent to trendy Hornstull, Tantolunden is one of Stockholm's most extensive and varied parks. Its combination of allotments, open expanses, an outdoor gym, a children's play area, and waterside walks make it a great getaway from the city center, and there is even a small beach where you can sit and watch the world go by. And number 4 is Astrid Lindgren's Fairy Tale World. Visitors can check out Junibaken's Story Train, which chugs through famous stories by Astrid Lindgren, featuring narration by Astrid Lindgren herself. Visitors can watch daily live shows packed with fun singing and theater entertainment for kids. Enjoy a magical, delightful day together at Junibaken in Stockholm, where books come to life, and there are amazing playful exhibitions to inspire kids and their parents. Number 3 is Fotografiska. Located in the Old Wharf at Stadsgarden, the Fotografiska is a museum of contemporary photography in Stockholm that's well worth a visit. Visitors can explore the planet's most exciting subjects, from nature and wildlife to photojournalism and narrative to conceptual photography and beyond. At number 2 is the Vasa Museum. The incredible Vasa battleship was intended to be the pride of the Swedish imperial fleet, yet it sank on its maiden voyage in 1628. An amazing salvage operation took place in 1961, and now visitors can marvel at this glorious time capsule, 95% of which is entirely original. The 3 masts on the roof of the museum were reconstructed to the exact height and specifications of the originals. And at number 1 is Gröna Lund. Located right next to the city on Djurgården Island, Sweden's oldest amusement park, which first opened in 1883, is very much up to date and perfect for a family day out. With over 30 attractions, including the mighty roller coasters Insane and the Free Fall Tilt, as well as the tamer Funny House, teacups, carousels, and bumper cars, there's no shortage of things to see and do here. At number 10 is Helsinki Zoo. Helsinki Zoo is the largest zoo in Finland and is located on the tranquil island of Korkesaari, which is accessible via ferry or footbridge. This zoo was established in 1889, and this makes it one of the oldest zoos in the world. With over 1,000 plant species, 200 animals, and a long story demonstrating nature's great diversity, it is the perfect place to visit due to its natural environment, animals, and history. Number 9 is the Skywheel Helsinki. The Skywheel Helsinki is the highest observation wheel in Finland and is located at Katajanoka. At 40 meters in the air, everyone can soak up Helsinki's scenery and landmarks from a whole new perspective. Visitors can also opt for a VIP experience and get a longer ride, plus a bottle of champagne in a special gondola. At number 8 is the Market Square. Located on the eastern side of central Helsinki, between the South Harbour and Esplanade Park, the Market Square is one of the most famous marketplaces and tourist attractions in the city. It is an open-air market with fresh farmers' local produce and a really good place to find Finland-specific souvenirs, which in turn supports local merchants and artists. At number 7 is Tempalakio Church. Tempalakio was the result of a post-war design competition won by the Somalainen brothers and was inaugurated in 1969. The building is partly underground and has been hewn from the bedrock, which forms the interior walls. Around the central dome is a circular skylight, through which sunlight floods into the main chambers during the day. Visitors can experience one of the world's most unique church buildings and see the incredible rock formations and roof structure that make Tempalakio one of the biggest attractions in Finland. Number 6 is Helsinki Cathedral. Built in the mid-19th century, Helsinki Cathedral towers over Market Square in the center of Helsinki. It was built in the neoclassical style, and its plan is a Greek cross with 4 equilateral arms. The tall green dome reaches a height of 62 meters, and 4 smaller domes and zinc statues of the 12 apostles are at the apexes and corners of the roofline. At number 5 is Helsinki Panorama Sightseeing Bus Tour. Board the Helsinki Panorama Sightseeing Bus and take a cultural cruise through the city's most interesting parts. Visitors can learn the history and fun facts of this amazing city with audio commentary in several languages. 4 is the Flying Cinema Tour of Helsinki. This unique, multi-sensory experience will allow you to glide over the city's sights and landmarks. A fun-packed 4D tour of Helsinki, complete with moving seats and state-of-the-art sound and technology, brings the city to life. This unique, multi-sensory experience will allow you to glide over the city's sights and landmarks. At number 3 is Nuuksio Reindeer Park. Located about 30 minutes from Helsinki city center, the Nuuksio Reindeer Park is the southernmost place in Finland where you can see reindeer. Visitors can see the reindeer at close range and feed them with reindeer moss in this natural environment. There is also coffee, tea, and buns that are served in the glow of the campfire in the wilderness-style teepee restaurant White Reindeer. Number 2 is Lionnmäki Amusement Park. Lionnmäki is one of the most popular amusement parks in Finland and is located in the heart of Helsinki. It offers more than 50 rides, with roller coasters, bumper cars, a Ferris wheel, pendulum rides, river rafting, water rides, and so much more. Many of the major rides at Lionnmäki break Finnish records with the highest and fastest in the country. At number 1 is Suomenlinna Fortress. Suomenlinna is one of the biggest sea fortresses in the world, built off the coast of Helsinki during the era of Swedish rule. Nowadays, it is one of the most popular attractions in Finland. The Helsinki City Transport Ferry operates throughout the year to Suomenlinna, and the ferry journey takes about 15 minutes. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is an interesting historical and cultural site, giving a memorable experience for visitors of all ages. Number 10 is Tumpia Castle. Located next to Alexander Nevsky Church, the present Tumpia Castle was built in the late 1700s. This understated castle features a salmon pink exterior with white details and today houses the Parliament of Estonia. Number 9 is Tallinn TV Tower. The Tallinn TV Tower is a freestanding construction with an observation deck built to provide better telecommunication services. Soaring 314 meters tall and located near the suburb of Pirita, 6 kilometers northeast of the Estonian capital, the tower gives breathtaking views over the city of Tallinn and the surrounding countryside. Visitors can stand on the glass floor of the 21st floor and see 170 meters down to the ground. Number 8 is the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral. Named after the Russian warrior Prince Saint Alexander, this spectacular Orthodox cathedral is located on Toompea Hill and was completed in 1900. The church has distinct black onion domes that can be easily spotted towering above Tallinn. The interior of the church can be visited and the gorgeous mosaics are really impressive. Number 7 is the Old Town. The Old Town is an important site for visitors to Tallinn, featuring beautiful architecture and locals dressed in medieval clothing, with restaurants, bars, museums, and galleries, bringing much life to this historic city center. 6 is the Hop-on Hop-off bus Tallinn. This 24, 48, or 72-hour hop-on hop-off bus pass is the best way to get around the bustling Estonian capital. There are 32 stops on 3 routes around the medieval Baltic city, and the onboard multilingual audio guides. Number 5 is the Kadriorg Palace. Kadriorg is considered to be one of the grandest examples of palace and park design in Estonia architectural history. The palace, originally an imperial summer residence, has been extremely well preserved since the early 18th century. Designed to resemble the Italian palaces of the time, the palace has a facade that is 3 levels at the front and sides, and 2 levels at the rear, in a mix of architectural styles. At number 4 is Seaplane Harbour, Estonian Maritime Museum. The most exciting European maritime museum is located in the Seaplane Harbour. The historical seaplane hangars display about 200 genuine items, including a submarine, a century-old icebreaker, a short 184 seaplane, and the remains of the oldest ship found in Estonia. The Seaplane Harbour also has a large aquarium, simulators, a cinema, and in the outdoor area, visitors can find a functioning harbour, ships and yachts, and a magnificent view of the sea and city. Number 3 is St. Olaf's Church. St. Olaf's Church is one of the most important structures in Tallinn and is the city's largest medieval building. This well-preserved church is notable due to its high church tower that has been struck by lightning numerous times throughout its history. In summer, visitors can climb a winding staircase to the tower's observation platform to enjoy spectacular views of the city. At number 2 is Tallinn Art Hall. Discover an amazing array of thought-provoking Baltic art. And with between 20 and 24 exhibitions a year, it's one of the largest art producers in Estonia and a constant whirlwind of creativity and artistic expression. Tallinn Art Hall addresses the most pressing issues in contemporary art and society, providing a fascinating program for audiences young and old, and an innovative platform for artists to create unique exhibitions and works. And at number 1 is Tallinn Zoo. Tallinn Zoo is situated in the beautiful and naturally diverse Veskimetsa Park Forest. It was founded in 1939 and is home to animals representing almost 600 species. Here, visitors can find one of the world's best mountain goat enclosures, a remarkable number of eagles and vultures, and an impressive variety of owls and cranes. With African elephants, an Amur tiger, polar bear and black rhinoceros, and an attractive landscape, the zoo is a great day out for all the family.
Number 1 Royal Castle. Formerly the royal residence between the 16th and 18th centuries, the castle now houses a museum and is open to the public. Restored and furnished with repossessed furniture and works of art, it transports visitors to the time of Stanislaw August Poniatowski, the last king of Poland. Number 2 Murinau. Built right after the war on the rubble from the completely destroyed Jewish ghetto, Murinau was designed as a memorial, housing a state and representation of the ideology of socialist realism. Walking around the neighborhood, visitors can see and feel the city's history outside of pristine museum walls. Number 3 Lasienki Królewskie Park, Palace Complex. The Lasienki Królewskie is not your average city park. It features a long lake with an 18th century summer palace in the middle, as well as a botanical garden and an amphitheater with free plays, performances and Chopin concerts during the summer months. Number 4 Warsaw Rising Museum. Commemorating the Warsaw Uprising of 1944, this state-of-the-art museum tells the story of the Polish rebellion against the Nazi occupation. Comprising video, audio and photographs, mixed into an interactive experience, this unique, Tactile exhibition gives an interesting glimpse not only into the city's history but also into the country's historical narrative around one of the most traumatic events in its history. Number 5. Frédéric Chopin Museum. Dubbed as the most modern biographical museum in Europe, the Frédéric Chopin Museum offers a real treat not only to the fans of Chopin's music but for anyone interested in the time period in which he lived and created. Number 6. Wilanów Palace Museum and Park. One of the best examples of Polish Baroque architecture in Warsaw, the Wilanów Palace used to be the summer residence of King Jan III Sobieski, before being turned into the first Polish museum in 1805. The palace is lavishly decorated and is surrounded by magnificent Italianate gardens. Number 7. Warsaw Fotoplastikon. Warsaw Fotoplastikon is the only such institution in Poland and one of only a few in the world. The stereoscopic theater, based on the Kaiser panorama system of rotating images, allowed viewers to watch changing three-dimensional images and was a precursor for cinemas. Number 8. Museum of Warsaw. Located on the Old Town Marketplace, the Museum of Warsaw is composed of 11 modernized tenement houses that feature the core exhibition, The Things of Warsaw, as well as temporary exhibitions, a cinema, workshops, and special tours. Number 9. Zakata, National Gallery of Art. Dedicated to showcasing contemporary art, Zakata stages temporary exhibitions that showcase what are arguably the most important phenomena of the 21st century. In efforts to promote living artists from Poland and abroad, the gallery organizes talks, discussions and screenings. Number 10. Polin Museum of the History of Polish Jews. The Polin Museum of the History of Polish Jews has an interactive exhibition that offers an incredible journey over 1,000 years, from the first Jewish settlements in Poland to present times. Aside from broadening their knowledge about Polish-Jewish relations, visitors can also enjoy traditional Jewish cuisine at the restaurant,